So Marc Butler wanted to come in this morning to just give us a little tease of what's going to happen on Thursday night at the roast. You do know you're a politician in Albany, right?
Yes,
you do know your house is made of glass. I mean, I just want to lay it right out there.
But I cleared the decks. I announced first I wasn't running for re-election, so I now have nothing to lose. It was all about your roast.
That's
that
good.
was setting the stage.
That was the reason for
that was the reason. I can now announce it publicly.
No holds barred.
I read that. And it's interesting that you mentioned that because, as I understand it, you were an Olympic level wrestler. Is that the story that's going around?
You think that's a story I'm telling? No. So
listen,
you've done some history. You dug in a little bit.
Well, you must be very pleased, Bill, that you have so many friends because everybody's been calling me with little nuggets of information.
Yeah.
I haven't really had to do much digging in terms of research. It's all just kind of fallen in my lap.
So the loyalty's not there like I thought it was.
Yeah, you got a lot of friends. You're a lucky guy. Can I make a suggestion?
Surely you can. Absolutely.
Well, I know the name of your show is Keeler in the Morning. I think Friday you should change it to just Keeler in Morning because it's going to...
Oh, that's a good one.
That's the way you're going to feel. And listen, no, I have no grudge. I mean, a couple years ago, you had a few jokes, and after my wife went through therapy for a couple months, and she came out of it. Yes.
Can I just for 1 second? I want to talk. Your wife is a lovely woman, and she's a beautiful woman. I, by no means, the joke I told had anything to do with your wife. It was just a joke. It was like, your mama's so fat. Well, your mama's not fat, but it's the joke that you tell.
Right.
But
everybody was offended by that joke. Well, how could you go after Marc's wife? I didn't go after your wife.
All I'm saying is you set the parameters. So
okay.
I think you have to retell the joke to give us.
I don't even remember what the joke was. Do you remember? Oh, yeah, Marc does.
No, I don't.
He'll never forget.
I don't remember it.
It's tattooed on his chest. He looks at it every morning.
That's right.
I will never forget.
They said that over at the Herkimer County Historical Society that you have been calling for the last 2 years every day saying, have you picked him yet? Have you picked him? I want to be on the panel.
Well, they went through a long list to get to you, but I lobbied hard for you, Bill.
Sure.
Are you sure he wasn't on the short list?
Oh, yes.
But
you guys are going to get me.
I'm not a competitive person, Bill, but I remember when they had mine, it was a sellout. I think they had to set up a television in the other room for the overflow crowd.
Right, you had
closed circuit TV.
Yeah,
I hope you can match that.
Well, they can't fit that many. They can't fit that many people in Dunkin' Donuts. But it was overflowed. You're right. You are correct. Here's Jeff standing by right now. Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
Hey, Bill.
Jeff has a few more he's adding. If you'd like to borrow
Thank you,
his
Jeff.
jokes.
Oh, you're very welcome. You know, I got a whole list here. I figured I'd dole them out a little each day, kind of toughen Bill up for it.
Good.
You know, it's almost like the metaphor. Remember Rocky when he was strengthening himself by punching the side of meat?
Yes, I remember.
Well, that's where the metaphor ends, because at this point, Bill is the side of meat.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I'm feeling that way.
All right, so let's take a look at my list here. Let's start with cars and Bill's obsession with the Ford Probe.
I did have a probe, yeah.
You had several, if I recall.
Well, I had a couple of probes,
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not saying that you did that really, just to get to work fast, because we all know you get in a little late. But
it does happen.
It's not. But I mean, at one point, the Herkimer and Oneida County Sheriffs just had Bill's parking tickets as like 30% of their operating budget.
Well, it wasn't parking; it was speeding. And you're right. I've paid a lot of money on that.
And one of the things that, I finally figured out why Bill liked that car so much, because it was one of those few cars that was actually out there that let him seem like he was tall.
Yeah. Well, it's not the height. No. You know what they say about sports cars.
Yeah, well, I mean, you stood next to it and it made you look normal. So,
you're right.
You're
right.
Because by the time you started driving, you'd already gone past the Yugo phase.
That's true.
And the only other cars that made you look tall said Matchbox on the bottom of them.
Well, you're outdoing yourself this morning, Jeff. Are you going to be there on Thursday night, Jeff? Because you should be.
Yes, I will. I will be there. So
right.
I'll try to save a couple more in reserve for you. But like I said, I got a long list, so I hope Jeff's sharpening his pencil there to write these down.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and we'll hear from you tomorrow, I'm assuming.
I'll talk to you then.
Okay.
Thank you, Jeff.
Well, getting back to the speeding thing,
by the way, tickets 315-866-6413. It'll be at Francesca's Banquet Hall, not Dunkin' Donuts.
Actually, getting back to the speeding, getting back to the speed.
I just wanted to clarify that.
Thanks for the clarification.
Getting back to the speeding thing, actually, Bill is the reason that they can't build the new jail because he moved from Herkimer County to Oneida County and all the speeding tickets.
Yes, they've lost their funding.
That is one of the questions we will answer Thursday night. Many people have asked why he had to leave Ilion in the middle of the night and got kicked out of Herkimer County.
Yeah.
We have the answer to that question, and it's not pretty. He talked about Rocky and punching meat. I had this vision, what a big boa constrictor, just before it strikes its prey and it's looking at it, does it feel any remorse or sadness or
I feel none.
Sympathy?
I feel zero. What do you mean?
No. I'm looking at you.
So do you
I'm
feel?
Looking at you.
Do you feel any? No, you don't feel any at all. No, you're just going to come at me. Again, Glass House. I'm wondering.
Not running for re-election.
Oh, I have to tell you, this is going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
So, again, this benefits the Herkimer County Historical Society, which is a great cause, and we really hope that people come out and you reserve tickets. You just call up. They'll hold the tickets for you, and you pick them up on Thursday night.
Yes, they will.
You were roasted, and they've done some others as well. Bob Casula was from Little Falls, who coached for the Oakland Raiders, of course, Syracuse.
And nobody's heard from him since. I think he was totally destroyed.
The roast really does people in.
It does.
I don't. So I also heard a story recently that somebody was at a roast and they were being roasted, and it got so bad that the guy up and left.
I wouldn't recommend that, Bill.
I'm not going
recommend
to.
it.
I won't do that. I promise.
I know you're tough.
By the way,
because the roast will still go on whether Bill's there.
Somebody like you. Somebody like you that's been fired so many times has to have developed a tough hide, so we know you can take it.
I can appreciate a good joke.
Good, thank you.
The key word there is good. That's going to be where we. I think it's harder to smile when it's not funny. So, like, if somebody's telling something and they're going off on you and it's just not funny, it's harder to smile than a real reaction of cringe. Because when you're cringing, your facial expressions, you don't have to think about it. But if you're trying to laugh at somebody that isn't funny and they're trying to be, therein lies. So I'm hoping everyone is very funny.
I think it's going to be a good show.
Okay, I do too. So what would you say at a roast is off limits? I mean, because I've been the other night I couldn't sleep. So it might have been the espresso. But I just was up, and I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm up. I don't want to get downstairs, so I'm up. So I began sitting in my iPhone, and I started writing some roast jokes for Thursday night. And
well, why do you need roast jokes? You're the roastee.
Correct, but you know how roasts work. At the end, when it's all over, I get to attack everyone who's attacked me. That's how it works.
Well, when you roasted me, I just said very nice things about you.
I know.
You have to read the instructions first, Mark.
which is why you feel so compelled to be here today, because you didn't get back and you were just stunned. So, and I'm going through it, and I had. So my question would be, what is off limits? I mean,
well, first of all,
you realize it's a roast, and we're just having fun.
And a lot of people forget that, but I assure people there'll be no F-bombs, or at least from my perspective.
I'm not an F-bomber.
And family language kind of thing. So some people, I think, are a little concerned about the possibility of that. And I can assure you, there's enough material without having to.
I'm not sure. I've already talked. I'm nervous about my parents coming to this.
They're going to be there?
Yes.
Oh, God.
And I asked them not to come.
That whole section of it.
Now, can we clear this up? Because I had asked when it was originally talked about a roast, and I said, people who know me know sometimes I don't always speak the way on the air. Sometimes I swear a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. I said, "Can I use foul language?" And I was told yes.
To me, it's all bets are off. However, I'm not that. I don't speak that
I
way.
can go without
blue. He doesn't work.
I'm not a blue. No blue. No blue here.
No blue. Okay.
Anymore. No.
Well, okay. I think mild expletives might
Yeah,
be
listen, I got to tell you, I did Tim Reed's. I emceed Tim Reed's roast, and there was no swearing at all until Paul Buckley roasted Tim, and then it was channeled. Yeah. So it is what it is. It's an all. I'm pretty much an open book. It's pretty. That's what I say. I mean, bring a lot of the things that I'll be attacked on. I call it attacking because I know that's what you're really doing. Will be stuff that I've already talked about. So
it's an
bring
open
it on.
book, and it's not very pretty, Bill.
And if you're thinking of going, I'm just joking about. I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be loaded with f-bombs. I'm not
Jeff,
gonna.
stick to your
HBO.
No, I'm not doing that.
HBO is.
I've got to come to work too.
Holds barred.
If we had a table for all your former employees or employers, it would fill up half of Francesca's.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you could do that with both employees and employers. That's true.